I'm Kent Hefferman. I head up brand and advertising for Qantas. If I start with what keeps me awake at night in my role, I think the number one thing is that the world's really changing at the moment. It has been for the last few years, and will continue to when it comes to the economy and the pressure particularly on industries around securing finance, around energy. At Qantas, 50% of our cost is actually in fuel, so oil prices have a big impact on us. So it's a much tougher market that we're going into. There's more competitors, and there's less money to work with, and there's less money that consumers are really spending. So our brand strategies are going to have to be better and more differentiated, and our retail strategies too, I think, are going to be a key part of that in being competitive moving forward. I think the biggest do for me is to be part of the team. I really want suits to be sitting out with us in our office. If we're going and doing a recce for a photo shoot, they've got to come out to the tarmac. I want them to meet with engineering. I want them to be part of the team and really know the business and really live and breathe it. I think the other one is don't always assume that the marketing solution is ads. It often is doing the ads, but it could also be around what are we doing with our staff? How are we getting our 10,000 people that could be in department stores working for the brand as well? How are they trying to help us sell? So I think probably the biggest don't would be on the opposite of that, is always just coming up with why don't we use an ad to solve that. So I think it's really my expectation with a suit is yes, they are experts in working with the creative department for advertising solutions, but they actually have a really good commercial skill set as well. And they can think about how campaigns detonate into channels, into call centres, how does pricing get used in the campaign, and then how do we get the whole organisation behind what we're doing. It's a great question. We're a premium airline, and that's pretty well known in Australia, and we've done a lot of work to do that in our home country. The challenge is when you're a global brand is you need to do that in many countries, and it gets just too expensive to have a media plan in South America, then in Europe, then in North America, then in New Zealand. It's overwhelming. So I think, particularly from a cost point of view, the challenge for us is how do we use new mediums to reach a global audience that isn't going to cost us hundreds of millions of dollars to do that. So I think probably that's the number one thing I want to get out there is Qantas as a premium brand, but not just to Australians, but to all of our global markets that we fly to.